So, I think like the last time we did this interview, what was it like? I, in December, January, right?
I think so, yeah. I think that was after our first big month.
Yeah,
Like the first 10K, I think when we crossed a single
yeah.
month more than 10K, that's when we did it.
Amazing, man.
And yeah, the total at that time was Jan, December, right? Must be around total 20K. So
Wow.
from
So I think
in
your
the last six
biggest
months,
time or like the growth period has been 2021, right?
correct.
Awesome, man. So let's just talk a little bit about that, man. Nirmit, like you joined me in I think August 2020, and with of course your partners Akshay and Abhinav. And I think I remember looking at your application. Please correct me if it's wrong. You were doing around $500 a month that time, right?
Yeah,
So
with
walk me
selling
through.
super cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, like talk to me a little bit about what was happening back then. Like, how did you get started? What was the scenario like, and everything?
Got it. So, I think, even previously we talked much more about the history, but let me just start from the starting point of the business itself, right? So, once we started, we knew that there was this opportunity there because of COVID, that a lot of fitness pros were working to go online, right? And we thought the main issue is that they don't have the right knowledge about technology, that they can't build their own platform or things like that. So we started approaching people, and to understand the market, we used to sell stuff really cheap. Like the first website, I think Akshay told you we sold was for $20, right?
Yeah, hilarious,
Then,
man.
then we sort of went into $100, $150 mark, right? And so we used to get 3, 4 clients a month, and that used to make 500. And it was just, I think, when we filled in that form, that was the first or second month where we did around 600 or something, right? Before that, we did 400. Usse pehle to we did like $100, right?
Right.
So yeah, so that's why it was at that level. And because we were actually not that confident that the service we are giving is worth that much,
Hmm.
because for us it was like a different thing. Yeah, yeah, I want to learn from you. I'm
Hmm.
providing you a service, but I want to learn from you. Give me a complete feedback, things like that. So you were going from that stance, right?
Hmm.
And the major thing that changed was the positioning, especially in the sales calls, as well as the other confidence that we had that we are the experts. We
Right.
are not asking you things. You want our time. So basically, so automatically we just tripled our price straight up, and then we kept increasing from there.
Awesome, man. So at that point of time, when you, I think in August, September 2020, like main challenge obviously was that you were undercharging, a lot for your websites and everything that you were doing. What other problems were you struggling with at that time? Like, if you can recall.
Yeah, no, I 100% remember, every step. So at that point, one of the biggest problems was also we were too feature obsessed,
Hmm.
that ये भी देंगे, 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 ये भी, like how, like we first researched too much into tech. So we spent a lot of time doing R&D also, and we learned ourselves things we didn't know, and all three of us, like two of us were developing sites ourselves, right, without any team members, anything. And then we were like, oh, this is cool, this is cool. I mean, we were thinking ourselves ki ye sab hoga to wow, it's so grand. But then in the end, it was like there were two, three things that they mostly wanted, right? So that's where that was another issue, that we were too feature obsessed rather than being what is the main top two, three things that are required from them, that is required for these guys to start running an online business, and only focus on that, right? So that we can have a smaller turnaround time as well, and get more profit at the same time for that. So
Got
that
it.
was one of the challenges. If I remember, another one would be, yeah, going with this thing that having a website will solve everything, right? So like you have the technology to do it, but if you don't have clients, what are you going to do with the technology,
How will you
right?
make
And
money?
exactly. And the since we did not see that path, we couldn't show that path to the trainers, right? And for them, it was more like a tech thing. Ki, haan, chalo, it's like a more branding play rather than something that they absolutely need to get more sales and grow their business. They didn't see
Hmm.
that path even in our sales pitch, right?
Right.
And then those are the challenges we sort of overcome later. Those are two of the biggest ones that we showed them the money at the end. I mean, in the end, if you show them that you can earn, that's when they're willing to, go all out. They're taking out money from the savings to pay us now.
Absolutely.
As opposed to earlier where they're comparing us to any other website developer who can do it for them.
I'm assuming you were only offering websites back then, right? No marketing or anything. Got it. So, Nirmit, okay, so to summarize, first problem was you were features obsessed rather than being problem obsessed, right? Second one was you were charging way too low, like $20, $100 for a website or something. And then the third one that you said was that you were only focused on website, but what about the marketing and how will they get clients? So these were the core problems, right? So at that point, I remember asking this from Akshay, but tell me about your experience. What happened and how did you come across something called as viewability? And, why did you decide to book a call and then, do whatever, hop on and do the Zoom call and then, of course, proceed further? If you can recall that as well.
Yeah. So I exactly remember. So what happened was Abhinav saw your ad, okay, and he saw the webinar. Not the webinar. It was a two-step funnel where you were showing some sort of strategy. Okay, on the funnel. There's a 45-minute video or something. I'm not 100% sure of that. And then he saw a bit of value in that. So he sent us that. मैंने अपना email ID डाल दिया. He got the direct second link. We directly went into the second link, and we saw it, and we like, okay, this guy is talking some sense, right? And but we still didn't fill the form straight up. Okay, we then again went back. That was like a weekend, and then we did an entire week. And that week was like, we were really struggling to get to the next level. The confidence that we wanted to increase our prices. Like we actually increased our prices, but we were not able to justify it on the call. And they sort of started negotiating with us, and we went down the negotiation. And then we were like, no, let's, I think it's time to get onto something to gain more confidence for ourselves, right? And also learn something more, right? And we felt that you were doing some sense, so we decided to get on a call. And then on the call, it was, you said exactly the things. You first understood our situation, and you said the right things that sort of connected with all three of us, right? And I know we had that call in the morning, and the same day at night we paid you also, because
exactly
right after the call we got into a call together. We discussed for 1 hour about the pros and cons and things like that, and we saw there were much more pros than cons, right?
If you don't mind, what was this evaluation decision? What was few of the pros or the cons? How did you decide that, okay, you know what, I should move forward with this?
Got it. So the con was that, let's start with that, because there are not many.
No worries.
So the con was that we didn't know if it would be modeled for the
fitness
niche
industry
we were going to go for, right? I mean, we knew that it was a bit generic, and then we had seen these courses. The cheaper ones. We had done a lot of them, right? And it's like they give you a lot of things that are overall at a high level. They give you like a book. If you read let's say Peng Joon's book or things like that, right? They give you high level concepts, but in the end, when it comes to application, you don't know, right? So, and we don't know if this course would do the same or not. Even though we did read the reviews and stuff, that was one of the pros, that a lot of people had talked good stuff about viewability. Like we saw on Quora and this and that, multiple places, and people were really happy with the kind of knowledge they got from the course. So that was one of the pro side. And the other thing that we thought was, at that stage in our business, if we don't take this step, we stay as where we are. It's like, it was going to be a slow trajectory, right? And there was a chance that maybe this would enhance our trajectory and make it sort of an exponential curve rather than a very linear growth, right?
Right.
So, but we thought it was a gamble, but we were like, it's a gamble worth taking, because the things to lose is just I don't want to reveal your price, but whatever you offered us back then, for us, it was not such a big amount. It's 3 people. And we were like, you were like, so you can split in 2 also. And we were like, we could already make that in a month, even if we didn't learn anything from you, right? So that was the con is that worst case, we stay the same. Maybe we lose a few more bucks. Best case, we grow so much. So we just sort of, even if you take the average case, it's better than our current trajectory. So we ended up going with it.
Got it, man. That like makes sense. So once you made that decision, and I remember at night only you had this discussion and you made the payment. What happened after that? Like once you were given access to the program, if you could talk a little bit about your initial weeks or your initial days, how did you go about selecting the niche? Well, you already had that, but how did you refine your offer? What else did you do? That'll be very helpful.
Yeah. So I mean, one thing that you would want from all your clients would be that they should be hustlers, right? And I think all three of us had that quality. Like, you believe it or not, we finished your 5-week course in 2 weeks.
Really? What were you watching at 2x speed?
I mean, a lot of times we were.
Yeah.
Because, see, we had already come across a lot of content, especially with the mindset niche. So we knew some things, right? So a lot of the chapters, you would be like, okay, let's go through it. It was informative for sure. It's like, they were more like reaffirmations, right? Like, and making you strongly believe in that again, going you back in that thought process. You know that this is true, but you need to hear it again, right? I mean, when I see YouTube videos, I'm normally looking at reaffirmation videos about mindset and growth and how you have to have that thinking mindset where you, if you want to grow rich, right? And you have to keep reminding yourself, you have to keep journaling every day and things like that. So it was a very good, start, and the systems that you had put in place, we really admired that. So I used to focus much more on your documents and the stuff that you provided in the text than the whole videos, because most of the content was there, right? So definitely we did a lot. So in first few days itself, we went through the niche and we sort of reinforced that the niche we took was right. Studying that thought of us, the niche is right. Now the only thing is the offer that we need to work on. Right. And then even the organic marketing, again, there were some things. We already had some clients, so there's some strategy you talked about. We were already doing them in the organic marketing side of things, right? So, but we just sort of enhanced it. We added the email thing. We never thought of email marketing, right? So we started with that. And then eventually as we started getting more and more clients, we used to just go back. So we finished it in 2 weeks, but it's not like it was committed to memory, right? But we knew exactly in which place what was there. So every time we had a question or something that we want to think about, we used to go back and just see that video. Right. And then sort of, reinforce that information in our heads and then keep working on it. Like our plan was to, immediately consume information and keep executing it. Because till you don't execute it, it's not going to get in your brain like sealed permanently, right? Absolutely. So that's what we did, and I think after December we haven't opened the course again. But in that time, the 3 months, we did it so many times that, like, as a fun thing, we used to, try to, whenever we were together, we would try to make your accent, like act like we are Rohan. So guys, we used to do that because we heard your voice so many times. Yeah, it becomes like so repetitive. That was a fun thing.
I can imagine, man. I can imagine. So I want to talk about 3 stages in particular, right? One was the stage $500 to $5,000, right? Then the second stage was, I think, $5,000 to 10 to 15 grand, and then the third one was 10 to 15 grand to making around 25 grand, right, a month. So, and this is in USD, by the way, so anybody listening. So I want to know about these 3 stages. Like, how did each one of these, like, how did you actually progress through each one of these stages? What exactly happened, and how did you go about doing the same?
Got it. So the first stage was sort of easy, I would say, in a way, that once we figured out the right offer, it was very okay for us. Like, we understood now, like, okay, up to 5K easily we can handle. Just the 3 of us can keep hustling, and the quality level is maximum because it's the 3 of us. It's working 12 hours a day from Monday to Sunday. Okay, no holidays, nothing. Like, we took a holiday after 7 months or something, right, of the business. So but we saw that this is not enough. Obviously, we have to scale from there. And then when we hit the 10K mark, we used to still manage things ourselves. But then we started seeing the problems that arise with scale, right? And again, even in the 5th week of the delivery, you do mention about different phases the company goes in. You go from a 10 for you to a do-it-yourself solution into different stages. So you were like on the second stage when we hit the 10K mark, right? And we had to let go of some services to do for the clients to do. So we sort of there was a time actually of the biggest low point during that 10K was one client actually came back and asked for a refund from us, right? Because we didn't hit the expectation, like we oversold on the sales call and then we couldn't deliver at that point, because that time we were just focused on sales. Okay, like paisa aa gaya, fir dekh lenge. It's like. But then we realized the challenges that managing so many clients and the expectations. We're not able to give the personal time we were able to give earlier, and it was just few clients, right? When you grow up, so we started hiring, and then the people managing them is, I mean, obviously on calls we are there, but then there's a lot of gap. Like the efficiency went down from, say, if you're operating at 100% with employees, now the company is at around 75% because it's averaging out. They are not. It's not their business. They don't care so much, right?
Right.
And at that time, we sort of took a step back, and we from our first 10K month, we actually went down for 10, 12K. I think we had in booked orders we had directly reached like 14K or something, but the cash in hand was 10K in that month. The next month we only did 8K. Okay, and because we took a step back from sales, we stopped selling, and we made our systems so watertight, the processes. That okay, we made the entire journey for a client. This is what they do in week 1. This is what they do in week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. This is what they do. This is what we do. Right? We made the distinction, and sort of we trained our employees also. That exactly, we tried to get more depth in them. That when they were doing something, it's not very superficial. They exactly know what they're doing, right? And we went from a team of just 3 of us to around 6 people. 3 more people who used to help us for the delivery. And that's when we sort of got into the gear. Like then we just started testing the systems from 8K. Again we went to 10K, and then few more months, like a majority run rate. I mean, major stage was 10 to 15K, right? We were still stabilizing things, and even with the 10 to 15K, a lot of times, I mean, it used to keep going because the tech service part, right? It's not that at the end of the month it ends for every client. A lot of clients are very slow in giving stuff and things like that you would require from them. Absolutely. And it would stretch to 2 months, 3 months. So in the third month, we're still servicing the first one client, and we've gotten 4 new clients. So it was all about oiling the wheel, making the systems function smoothly, getting a team behind it, Right. And we kept hiring people, also firing people. That's important. Who are not doing that. Yeah. And we finally got these few trusted people whom now we can count on, right? And that's when Akshay, was like, he took a step away from the delivery process and marketing, the other services that we were doing, and he went full focus into sales. Right. And that's why that's resulted, it's a trickle down effect. You start working so much only on sales, next month definitely you're going to have that much. Next month, definitely. But if you stop working on sales again, it's not going to be consistent. Exactly. So that's when we got our 25K month. And now again, we are still about fine-tuning things, and because employees at the end, not 100% reliable. Anything can happen to anyone. Anyone can leave you at any time. So we made like for every fail-safe, we made another fail-safe, and then another fail-safe for that. Right. So we make sure that even in terms of the client's expectations, we don't make them too high. At the same time, in terms of our service quality, we don't make it too low. So that was the balance that that was the biggest phase in the third phase, right? To maintain that and sort of grow with that going in the same phase. So that's where we are currently. I think it's the one of the biggest challenges of a business is like managing all these things, and I definitely believe that a business is like divided into 2 stages. One is like the scaling phase, and the second one is like the cutting phase, kind of what works in the fitness industry, right? You're trying to bulk or cut. Like when you're trying to scale, you are trying to entertain all this chaos and everything, but then you realize, if I actually scale with this, your systems can break down, and then your clients would ask you for refunds or whatever, so you have to go fix that and then move ahead accordingly. So I think like the fact that the 3 of you had awareness regarding this, like it's like pretty awesome, man. Pretty good. So Nirmit, I think one question that I'm sure everybody watching this video would love to ask you is, what's like the best
platform or method to get these clients, right? Because everybody would ask that, oh, is Instagram better, email better, or what, right? So what method has worked the best for you, and if you could like talk a little bit about that.
Best method would be like Instagram for sure for us. We've done emailing also, but after a while, I mean, if you throw a lot of emails, then Google starts flagging your account if you do too many, right? We got the premium version of an email automation software and stuff, but like it used to flag us and used to go in spam or promotions, and so then the click-through rate is very less in emails. It's just it's a numbers game. Ads were not are not so much because it's very hard to exactly target fitness trainers, right? So it's much better. What we did was we had people who just went through people's Instagram profiles, searched on the internet, and started making a database of fitness trainers, right? So we made a list of over say 10,000 emails, over 2,000 IG profiles, right? And then we had a team which we made different kind of SMS templates, templates basically that we should DM people. We kept testing those. We kept testing emails, but the DMs, they work the best in terms of getting people on a call, right? We used to show them exactly. We used to refine it exactly the things that they want to hear, right? Because we understood from all our clients, and we used to keep improving our DM script based on the problems that these guys are facing. And then we sort of nailed down that, we would just tell them, hey, we went through your Instagram profile and we saw that you're at this stage and currently these might be the problems you're facing. We just list down the problems and they immediately connect. This is exact. How does this guy know what problems I'm facing? So they automatically reply. And
how did you identify those problems though?
By talking to our existing clients. So we kept refining them.
Oh, nice. Very smart. Very smart.
Yeah. And also word of mouth was going strong. Like Dubai, it's like the guy who's well respected by all the personal trainers is working with us. So automatically we get that boost, right?
Yeah.
All the top trainers of Dubai are working. So the rest of them automatically they have that, And the response, what we get in sales calls these days, it's either it's exactly what they need and they're ready to start off, or it's exactly what they need but they don't have the money for it.
Okay.
Those are the only two responses that we get on sales call. Like no one has ever told us that this is not something for me.
Yeah, basically the offer is like totally aligning with them. It's either the money or the timing issue. Otherwise, like it's a no-brainer, which I'm assuming came from like number one, talking to a lot of clients, listening to a lot of your recordings, looking at your DM scripts and all that, and consistently refining. I'm assuming this didn't happen like in one day, right?
Definitely not.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
It's a lot of grind, and anyone who's interested in this question, that why did you get your clients? It's not a magic pill that you have and all of a sudden you can get clients. It's constant grind, man. If you should, basically the thing is, the secret is to never get complacent. Always keep improving. Always keep thinking कि ये सही चल रहा है, but और कैसे सही चला है, और कैसे सही चला है, and that's when you make these things much better and grow.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense, man. So just to summarize, Nirmit, like you were charging $20 to $100 from a single client. How much do you charge now? Or any approximate brackets or whatever?
Okay, so I mean, we have now multiple services, right? So we charge. So that was only for websites. But if you strictly talk about websites and apps, where the average is 2.5K per client.
USD, right?
USD, yeah.
Awesome,
and,
man.
For the marketing, it's approx 1,000 per month.
Awesome. I think what my next follow-up question is, like, a lot of people struggle with this mindset shift that, all the way from charging $20 to like, increasing it to 2.5 grand, right? How did you change your mindset regarding, the fact that I should charge more and I can charge more and I should feel confident about charging more?
So it was through a lot of trial and error for sure. Like it was not like we went from 100 to 2.5, right? We kept increasing slowly. And also the confidence in bringing the results. So I think if you start getting results from one person, right? You focus on that one person bring them some results that for the investment that they put in, they get in more outcome, then your confidence increases a lot. Because you're only thinking in terms of ROI now, that you're putting it 1.5k ठीक है, but तेरे को 10,000 मिल रहा है सामने से. So it's all about that, and the knowledge that we had in the same industry, the feedback we got from our clients, and by staying at it, constantly, it was not like a sudden mindset shift. Like one of the things that triggered us was definitely that sales call that you did with us, the strategy call, right? That triggered us that it's way too low. Like we were thinking it's low. We didn't know it was way too low. Right? It got us that mindset. So we directly tripled right then.
Right.
And then it was like slowly we kept increasing as our confidence increased in the knowledge and in the delivery. Like, see, I would suggest people to not charge more if they can't bring results for their clients. So first you charge less, focus on one client, bring them the results, use that as a success story, and then charge more. So it's and definitely you'll have much more confidence because you'll exactly say, have you gotten this result? No, I have gotten this result, right? So this is the price that you would need for this result. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, makes so much sense. I think through client results, you get the conviction to charge the necessary amount, which will further help you gain your confidence and then eventually keep continuing with the same. So, very important point, man. So, Nirmit, according to you, like since you said that you've gone through this entire journey and you completed the videos and everything in 2 weeks, according to you, what's like the most value that you have gotten out of this program, if you had to like summarize it or something?
I think so. If you asked it to all three of us, we would give you different answers.
Yeah.
Because we have our own things, right? Like I am the operations, the delivery guy. There's Akshay is more of the sales guy. Abhinav is more of the R&D and social media guy, right? So it's like for me, it was a lot of the delivery part and the scaling that was there. A lot of the marketing side of the advertising piece. The 4th and the 5th week were much more valuable to me than anything else. But yeah, I'm sure Akshay might say something else and Abhinav might say something else.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So I think I'll have to conduct an interview with Abhinav now. So we can find out. Got it, man. So that's like very helpful. So Nirmit, like last 2 questions I have for you before we end this conversation today. If you can go back in time, right, to the Nirmit who was just starting out with this IT web. You're from an IT background, right? You were doing a job in IT as well. Got it. Yeah. So like if you had to go back to that time, somebody who's struggling to get clients and just starting off with that initial journey, what advice would you give to that old Nirmit?
I would just say that, keep, it's very hard exactly to pinpoint, okay? Like, if you're talking about, let's first final down on the Nirmit. So if this is the guy who's the guy before he quit his job, right? And he was in a catch-22 of, if I want to leave my job and become financially independent, but to become financially independent, I have to quit my job. So it's a catch-22 that I was stuck in. I would just say that while doing the job, like start off straight away, right? And hustle much more. Like keep improving yourself constantly instead of blaming it on situations and things and being tired, risk of that. Go into full hustle mode. First, make sure that Monday to Friday you're working full time for your office. Sure, you're giving them amazing results as well, even your office. And Saturday, Sunday you're giving amazing results for your business. Like you're in it for the long term and just take that lead. Once you start working, automatically your confidence will increase and things. But the biggest thing is that the first step has to be, taking. And that's what I would just tell them, that forget having fun on the weekends. If these are your dreams, that if you want to be someone big and have like a business, if you want to be an entrepreneur, I mean, just drinking on weekends or just roaming around on marine lines or whatever, it's not going to help you. What is going to help you is putting in that hustle.
Some people might complain, but Nirmit, I thought I could sit by the beach and, have margaritas and make this passive income on the side, 4-hour work weekend. And then when you do it, you're like, oh, sure, it wasn't like that. So, Yeah, and Nirmit, but okay, this was for advice for people who are in job. But what about agency owners who are already in business and they are not making 25 grand a month? What advice would you give to them?
I think what is very important is keep on increasing the knowledge. Sort of have a mentor or like have someone you can rely on when you can ask questions when you're stuck. It's very important to have that. If you don't have someone who has done something in a specific industry and is has that knowledge and has the experience, then it's like you keep guessing. It's like guesswork you're doing, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But the confidence you have in doing something will not be as much as opposed to when it comes from a mentor who's in the industry, who has proven himself in the past. You will automatically be like, okay, let's try this. So having that someone else who gives you the right advice is important.
Got it, man. Really, really solid. So finally, Nirmit, any last 2 cents or final words you would like to say about UAbility or your experience so far?
I mean, overall, like I said, we're not very active even these days on the calls, right? But UAbility as a community I've seen it grow a lot even from the time we joined, and they're just so helpful with each other. Like a lot of people have asked me questions, we've also helped them out. Whenever I ask anyone else a question, they used to directly come. Like I think the best thing is that the humility that you have, and no matter how a dumber question you might think it is, for someone else, if he's asking with that sincerity and he's thinking that, okay, this is a genuine question for me, you still help them out with a completely positive tone. I mean, I think that's one of the best things, like the 2 hour calls that we have is, and how you treat everyone who joins the UAbility family and how they treat each other. Actually, it sort of reflects from there because you're nice to everyone, so everyone is nice to each other, right?
Yeah, man. And I'm glad that you took the same principles in your own business, and that's why your clients are getting results, and that's why you're growing. So superb, man. So Nirmit, anybody wants to get in touch, let's say some fit pro is watching this video, maybe they want to get in touch with you or Abhinav or Nirmit. What's not Nirmit again? I said Nirmit again. Akshay. What's the best way to get in touch with you guys? Like,
yeah. So I think best would be just shoot us a DM on Instagram or send us an email, right? On Instagram, we are @trainer goes online. Very simple. Trainer wants to go online, can definitely reach out to us. And on email, you can contact business@trainergoesonline.com. And we are right now in the process of making the next website. We made a previous website in November, I think. We haven't touched it because it wasn't a main source of leads. But recently, a lot of people have told us that they saw our website, so we want to add the new success stories. So maybe if you're watching this after August, in September or October, then you can check out our website as well. It's trainergoesonline.com.
Got it. So what I'll do is I'll ask for all these links and details from Nirmit and put it in the description below, and anybody interested could just check it out. They're really awesome at what they do, and that's why they are here. So anyway, thanks a lot, Nirmit. Really appreciate this interview, man, and wish you nothing but the best. And don't mind if I bother you again when you are at 100K a month.
No worries, man. Super grateful. And again, to everyone who's watching this and in its double mind thinking about UAbility, I mean, so far what I've said must be testament enough, but I would emphasize that just go for it, man. Like it's definitely gonna get you more returns than the amount you're investing, even if he charges 10 lakhs. Trust me. So
awesome, man. So big bold words. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it.